Bret Baier was long billed as the hard news side of Fox News, but he was undone by his corruption in the aftermath of the 2020 election. What Bret Baier did was appalling. Emails proved Bret Baier did not want to deliver the news. The news was that Donald Trump lost the election decisively to Joe Biden. In fact, the 2020 election was the cleanest in American history. There was no voter fraud in the 2020 election. All of it is a figment of Donald Trump's imagination. And by the way, Donald Trump started the process of poisoning faith and belief in American elections as soon as he entered the race in 2015. He long said it's only a fair result if he wins. And Bret Baier bought into it. Bret Baier was afraid of his Fox News audience. Bret Baier was afraid that if they were told the truth, if they were told reality, that they would go nuts, that they would quit, that they might stop watching. And in the aftermath of the firing of Tucker Carlson, as Fox News has become completely discredited, in the aftermath of its $787 million payment for lying, smearing, and defaming Dominion voting systems, as it shrinks to fourth place in the cable news chase behind even Newsmax, everything that Bret Baier worried about has come to pass. They are literally the fulfillment of the warning that John Kennedy once tried to give. When people try to ride the tiger, they often wind up inside. And isn't that truly the story of the Republican Party in this moment? They appeased, they allowed Donald Trump to run wild. Nobody had the guts or the integrity to do what Bret Baier tries to do here. Tell Donald Trump that he lost, which he certainly did. The thing about this moment that's most incredible to consider, we have a real national crisis in America. We have a burgeoning extremist moment because nobody can look Donald Trump in the eye and say, you lost the election. Nobody apparently can look him in the eye and say, you lost. And if necessary, you fucking lost. He lost. Donald Trump lost the election. Everything that he says about it being stolen, about there being ballots that appeared from somewhere, is all nonsense. Pure, 100% unadulterated bullshit. Fantasy. None of it is true. He lost. He lost because he was incompetent as president of the United States, and the American people dismissed him. Let's watch Bret Baier confront Donald Trump, not to examine Bret Baier's journalistic corruption, because in this instant, Bret Baier does what he should have done a long time ago, even if he brings a lot of flaccidity to the task.
First of all, I won in 2020 by a lot, okay? Let's get that straight. I won in 2020.
You know that this,
and if you look at all of the tapes, if you look at everything that you want to look at, you take a look at Truth to Vote, where they have people stuffing the ballot boxes on tapes, or
Mr. President,
let's go to recent. Well, wait a minute. Let's go to recent. FBI Twitter. Let's go to recent. The 51 agents, all corrupt stuff, Bret.
Understand about the Hunter Biden,
no, but
all
that's cheating
fair
on the
things.
election.
But
that's cheating on the election.
You lost the 2020 election.
Bret, you take a look at all of the stuffed ballots. You take a look at all of the things, including things like the 51 intelligence agents.
There were recounts in all of the swing states. There was not significant widespread
We're trying
fraud.
to get recounts, real
There were
recounts, not just numbers of
investigations,
votes
widespread
cast.
corruption. There was not a sense of that. There were lawsuits, more than 50 of them, by your lawyers, some in front of
Ready?
judges that you appointed.
Look at Wisconsin.
That came out with no evidence.
Wisconsin has practically admitted it was rigged. Other states are doing the same right now, and it's continuing.
There have
It
been reviews
was a
of
rigged
every
election.
potential case of voter fraud in 6 battleground states, and they found fewer than 475 cases.
You know why?
that were
Because they
not
didn't
affected.
look at the right things.
Okay,
Brett.
are you going
they
to
were
be-
counting? They were counting ballots, not the authenticity of the ballot.
Truly, it is amazing. This man is so unfit, there are no words for it in the English language. He is a pathological liar who, during his 4 years in the White House, lied to the American people more than 35,000 times. But the question that nobody has ever asked Donald Trump is the obvious one. Do you, sir, not understand the difference between what is real and what is not? Specifically, what is your malfunction with the discernment between the two? He is a child. Bill Barr is right about that. And so is Chris Christie. But this has long been obvious for many, many years. Now, Donald Trump is a criminal defendant who, like Sam Bankman-Fried, cannot stop talking about his case, cannot stop incriminating himself. Let's watch another remarkable part of Trump's interview.
Please, please, could we have it back?
And they
please,
asked for that.
because they have no. We
They
were
did ask
talking.
for it.
No, and
they said,
I gave
"Can you
them
give the
some,
documents back?"
and we were talking.
And then they said they went to DOJ to subpoena you to get them
which
back.
they've never done before.
Right.
And in
But
all
why not
fairness,
just hand them over then?
Because I had boxes. I want to go through the boxes and get all my personal things out. I don't want to hand that over to Nara yet. And I was very busy, as you've sort of seen.
Yeah, but
I've been
according to
very,
the
very
indictment,
busy.
you then tell this aide to move to other locations after telling your lawyers to say you'd fully complied with the subpoena when you hadn't.
But before I send boxes over, I have to take all of my things out. These boxes were interspersed with all sorts of things, golf shirts, clothing, pants, shoes. There were many things. I would say
Iran war
much more, not that I know of.
He loved those boxes. And now those boxes are going to put the former president of the United States, likely, in prison because he did what he's accused of doing. And we'll see what happens when he's given a trial. One thing is for certain. In a courtroom, this insanity won't hold up. Donald Trump is in a lot of trouble. But that doesn't really matter. Who cares? What we should care about is what happens to the country. Not to Donald Trump's voters, not to Donald Trump's supporters, and not to Donald Trump's party. Those are the institutions and people that Bill Barr was worried about. He's unconcerned, as always, as are so many, with what we should be most concerned about. And that's the United States of America and how much it's been damaged by this reckless, repugnant liar. It's good that Bret Baier confronted him. And it's good that even Mike Pence, a sycophant, and Nikki Haley, and the other Republican candidates are following Chris Christie's lead and at long last telling the American people the truth about the most rancid, disgusting person of the lowest character who has ever held a position of political power in the United States. His awfulness and dishonesty are beyond my ability to fully describe, as is the danger that he represents. Remember this: democracy is what keeps us safe. Democracy is what keeps the jackboot off of the citizen's neck. It's what keeps the knock at the door in the middle of the night from ever happening. Donald Trump is a thug. Donald Trump calls the prosecutors and calls the people who defend our democracy all sorts of names, because that's how he operates. He is the smallest and most vile of figures, a petulant bully who we are watching in real time be brought low and held accountable at long last. This sorry age is coming to an end. But in the meantime, Donald Trump remains the Republican frontrunner, ahead in the polls. That will start to come down in the months ahead as reality begins to sink in. Lindsey Graham said a long time ago that if the Republican Party makes Donald Trump its leader, it will be destroyed. And it has been. Don't judge that by the election results, although they have been abysmal in the Trump era. Judge it by the institution's soul. It's rotten. It's corrupted. It's shattered and utterly broken by Donald Trump and the cowardice, the appeasement, the ambitions that he exposed. What Donald Trump did was hold a mirror up to American politics, to American media, and to American corporations. And the image that came back was a disgusting one. This country needs to enter into a period of reform and renewal. It will get there. But first, Donald Trump needs to go away. And we need to move on. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Also, for more content just like this, please consider joining our Warning Premium community. You can find out more in the description below.